Hello and welcome to another edition of my prediction videos. Yes, this upcoming weekend there are some fights that I will be uh, covering, predicting again. Let's start first with Regis Prograis. He's fighting a guy called Ivan Redkach. And this guy, Redka, he is coming up from lightweight actually. He was a rather highly touted prospect, but then he lost a few times. He was stopped by, I know, for instance, first Dejan Zlaticha in only 4 rounds in 2015. So before that, he looked pretty good. Yeah, he beat Sergey Gukhulyakovich and Yakubu Amidu before that. Then he also lost to Tevin Farmer, Algenis Mendez, John Molina Jr. Yeah. And in his last fight, he actually went on to knock out Devon Alexander, but Alexander was really, nowhere near his prime. That was in 2019. So yeah, and in his last fight, which was in January last year, he lost to Danny Garcia by a wide decision, unanimous, of course. So Redka is now 35 years. He's 5'9.5" and 71-inch reach. Of course, Regis Prograis, well, he had his first loss, of course, in October 2019 against Josh Taylor, which was a pretty big, well, let's say it was an upset because many were, I think, expecting Prograis to win. But since then, he's bounced back. His last fight was in last Halloween, actually, night. When he had Juan Heraldez, previously undefeated, by TKO in the third round. And of course, Regis is 5'8". He's actually already 32. Wow, I didn't know that. But he's got a small reach. But still, he's not a guy, he's a puncher. He's not a guy who wins by being on the outside, so much. He comes inside and yeah, bangs away. So he's of course the favorite to win this one, Prograis. Yes. This fight is scheduled for 10 rounds. Yeah. Well, I don't know really. I think Prograis will very has a big chance of stopping Redka, but it can also go distance, I guess. But it will show just how much Prograis has left in him. Yeah, after his first loss, how much that has affected him. Yeah, because he looked pretty listless against Taylor. Yeah, he did, of course. So anyway, yeah, if he doesn't stop, if he does stop Redka, then most likely it will happen within the first 6 rounds, I think. Yeah, and if it goes past that, then there's a good chance that it will go the distance. So anyway, I think it will take a miracle for Ivan Redkach to win this one. So I don't think he ever can. He was never that good, simply. And his best wins were against washed up guys, So as I said, Devon Alexander and Yakubu Amidu, Sergey Khulyakovich, they were all, past their prime when he beat them. So, and he failed miserably. Some of his biggest tests as I said, against Laticha and yeah, John Molina Jr. Yeah, that's right. So it's very likely that Prograis wins by knockout. That's my prediction. Yeah, it can also happen later after round six, but I think most likely, yeah, around that time, 5 or 6 rounds, maybe seven. All right, and then we move on. This is yeah, a pretty good fight, even though neither guy is really very well known. Yevgeny Shredenko versus Aidos Yerbosinuli. So Shredenko is a Russian guy, but he's based in Germany actually. So this is a fight at super middleweight. Shredenko has yeah, he's beaten a few decent guys, but nobody really major, like more like gatekeepers, like these guys, trial horses. Najib Mohammedi, for instance, he beat on points and Nuhu Laval. Yeah, so he's 15 and 0 with 6 knockouts, so he's not really a puncher, I guess. Yeah, and Yerbo Sinui he looks like a harder puncher on paper. He's 15 and 0 with 10 knockouts. So he's 5'11". Both guys are almost equal in height, but Yerbo Sinuli's got a half-inch advantage. Yes. Yerbo Sinuli is 29 and Shredenko is 30, so they are also about even almost. And also Yerbo Sinuli, he's also beaten Nuhu Laval, for instance, on points. Omar Garcia by TKO 8. And in his last fight, he beat the undefeated Issa Samir by TKO in 3 rounds, which was in December. Ah, yes. This fight is in Germany, so that means, since Yerbo Sinui is based, he's in Almaty, Kazakhstan, so there can be a little bit of that home favorism if this goes the distance, which is there's a good chance it will. But I think Yerbo Sinui just may look like a better fighter slightly on paper, and as I said, he's a harder puncher of the two, harder hitter. So I don't know, Yerbo Sinuli, I would favor Yerbo Sinuli to win this fight. Yeah, why not? But of course, Shredenko can also win on points, especially if he gets some help from the judges. Maybe I don't know. Maybe even not, but I think it will be a close fight, very likely. So I think either Shredenko wins on points or Yerbo Sinuli wins by a stoppage. Yes, alright, so then the biggest fight of this weekend, Demetrius Andrade versus Leon Williams. Wow. This is a pretty big fight, guys. It's for WBO title, the middleweight, of course, which Andrade has been holding for a while now, for over 2 years. But he hasn't really fought that many good guys. I mean, he hasn't fought anyone yet that is, his best victory, you might say, was over Chase Uletsky. Yeah. So he's been left out, from the plans of major promoters. That's the big shame, and he's now getting on in age, a little bit, 33. In a couple of years, he may not be in his prime anymore. So he better, win this fight and then hope for, to get a really, really big fight. And Leon Williams, he's a guy moving up, definitely on the rise after he entered the middleweight division. He's been nothing but impressive. He's won all his fights by knockout after losing to Liam Smith twice, pretty unjustly, both times. He's scored like 7 knockouts, as a middleweight, since he stopped Alantez Fox, for instance. Mark Heffron, who was undefeated. So now he faces his biggest test yet, and he's the younger guy by 5 years, Liam Williams, and his record is 23 2-1 with 18 KOs, which is a pretty good one. And Andrade is 29-0 with 18 KOs. So Liam Williams is 2 inches shorter, but that shouldn't mean anything here, So I don't know, come on, man. Yeah. It's, as they say, styles make fights. I didn't always like that expression, but that's the way it is. Andre, sometimes he has been accused of being a little too lazy, maybe not always going for a knockout when he should have, and I guess that's why he doesn't have as many knockouts as he could have, because he is a puncher. He can punch. It's not like so he has proven that. But Williams, on the other hand, he just goes all out. He's pure Welsh warrior, all blood and guts. So there's no way he's gonna take a backward step. There's no way he's gonna get overcome by the magnitude of his fight. Forget about it. Forget about it, man. He's a Welsh warrior. It's one thing is for sure, and sure as hell they just don't get scared, in the ring. I mean, these guys are born, because that's pretty much all they have, and many of them are raised in such environments, very rural, very poor, pretty poor. The mining towns and all that stuff. So Williams may actually win this fight, because if he's aggressive enough, which he will be, and we know that he is hungry enough. And if Andrade starts pulling his stuff, his usual, passive kind of fighting, that he has been known for, more than once anyway before, then Williams will easily get that fight. He will, get the better of him. He will bully Andrade, I think. Anyway, he will bully Andrade a lot. He will be very aggressive. He will look to get him out of there, not to win on points. That's the beauty of that whole Welsh warrior mentality. They don't really often go for decision victory. So, this is what I mean about people who go for decision victories. If they got power, it's something else if you know you don't. You cannot really knock out someone elite level anyway. So alright, then you have to go there. You have no other choice. But Andrade, this is I think something I don't like about him. He is too often has been able to stop somebody, but he was playing it safe. So he wouldn't risk losing and getting losing his zero. So I don't. That's just bullshit. To me. So yeah. So, but still, having said that, Andre may be still slightly more talented, have a little bit more physical gifts, maybe a little faster. I don't know. Maybe I don't know about stronger. Leon Williams is pretty strong physically. He has proven that he can hit at this weight as well. So, but Andre has got some athletic gifts, I guess, that are maybe or superior. I don't know, but we will see definitely. But still, Andre, the safest bet would be to pick Andre to win on points, I guess, because no matter how much heart Williams has, I think it will be pretty difficult for him to win this fight, And even if he manages somehow to win more rounds, than Williams, it still doesn't guarantee that the judges will, see it his way. Simply the way it is in sport has become a really real problem. We have seen that last weekend also, and in the female fight, the Ebony Bridges and the other one, what's her name? Courtney something. One judge, it was a very close fight, and one judge had 98, 92. Come on. Yeah. So anyway, as I said, the safest bet would be Andrade on points. Yeah. I don't think he will stop. He will go for a knockout either. He knows how tough, how strong, how aggressive Williams is, so he will not risk it either. But there is a tiny, tiny possibility that Williams can pull off the upset. I would really love to see that happen because Andre needs to learn his lesson, simply. Alright, I've been talking long enough now, so I'll see you around. Bye bye.